Welcome to Euro Bangla City SATV News. This is Shibala Alam with our headlines. People who do not believe in Bangladesh's independence are out to tarnish the country's image at home and abroad by conspiracies. RT-PCR labs will go into full-scale operation at Dhaka airport on Tuesday, announced CAAD chairman. All maritime ports have been advised to hoist distant warning signal number 2 as cyclone storm Gulab over Bay. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said that the country's enemies who do not believe in Bangladesh's independence are out to tarnish the country's image at home and abroad by hatching conspiracies. She told a reception accorded to her by the US chapter of Awami League at New York LaGuardia Airport Marriott Hotel. Joining the reception virtually, Hasina said some elements staying abroad are indulged in plotting against their government to taint the country's image at a time when it has taken Bangladesh to a dignified position. The Premier called upon all to remain alert so that none can play ducks and drakes with people's faith. RT-PCR labs to conduct COVID-19 tests will go into full-scale operation at Hajjat Shahjalal International Airport on Tuesday, announced Civil Aviation Authority of Bangladesh Chairman Air Vice Marshal M. Mofidur Rahman. State Minister for Civil Aviation and Tourism M. Mahbub Ali, Secretary Mokammel Hossain and Chairman of Bangladesh Tourism Corporation Hanan Mia were among others present. There will be 12 machines installed at the 6 labs at the airport. At least 3,000 to 4,500 people will be able to test at these labs every day. He said the PCR booths will be set up at Dhaka, Chattogram and Sylhet international airports. The maritime ports of the country have been advised to hoist distant warning signal number 2 as cyclonic storm Gulab over Northwest Bay and adjoining West Central Bay moved westwards and now lies over the same area. Bangladesh Meteorological Department said it was centered at 6 a.m. on Sunday about 665 km southwest of Chattogram Port, 630 km second southwest of Cox's Bazar Port, 525 km per second south of Bangla Port and 530 km south of Paira Port. It is likely to move in a west-northwesterly direction further. Maximum sustained wind speed within 54 km of the cyclone center is about 62 km per hour, rising to 88 km per hour in gusts or squalls. Sea will remain very rough near the cyclone center. All fishing boats and trawlers over North Bay and Deep Sea have been advised to remain close to the coast and proceed with caution. They are also advised not to venture into the deep sea. The veteran journalist Abdul Ghaffar Chaudhry was admitted to a hospital in UK on Saturday evening. The 87-year-old Bangladeshi-born British writer, journalist, columnist, political analyst and poet was suffering from pneumonia for several days. He is perhaps best known for writing the lyrics to Amar Bhai Rokte Rangano, which is the most widely celebrated song commemorating the Bengali language movement. Chaudhry worked as a journalist in different national newspapers in Dhaka. During the 1971 Bangladesh's Liberation War, he worked for Joy Bangla, Jugantar and Ananda Bazar Potrika. He has written more than 35 books. Some of his notable works are Dan Pithe Shaukat, Nam Na Jana Bhore, Nil Jamuna, Polashi Theke Dhanmondi, Bastobata Nirikhe. International story updates. At least 3 people were killed Saturday afternoon when an Amtrak train derailed in north-central Montana, said officials with the Liberty County Sheriff. U.S. media reported the train was headed for the western city of Seattle from Chicago. Rail operator Amtrak confirmed that at least 3 people were killed and multiple others injured. The Empire Builder train derailed at 4 p.m. near Joplin, a town of about 200, Amtrak spokesperson said in a statement. The train had about 147 passengers and 13 crew members on board, said sources. The cause of Saturday's incident was not yet immediately clear. To determine the country's next government and the Chancellor, German voters head to polling stations on Sunday. The election will be the first since the country reunified in 1990 that Angela Merkel will not run in the candidate. At 16 years in the Chancellery, the woman who became the defining European leader of her era will step aside once a new government is formed. Two final surveys published on Friday put the SPD ahead of the CDU-CSU alliance by 26 points to 25 and 25 to 22, respectively. Voting ends at 16 GMT with exit polls to be released after that and a more comprehensive picture of the results expected to emerge on Sunday. However, the final days before the vote, Merkel said that the election is about keeping Germany stable. Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett must meet ministers from Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates on Sunday, his first meeting with Gulf leaders since taking the office in June. The meetings with Bahrain Foreign Minister and the UAE Minister were announced by Bennett in a statement and will take place on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. Bahrain and the UAE normalized relations with Israel last year. Israeli Foreign Minister Yair Lapid is expected to travel to Bahrain soon. In the United States, a federal court has issued an injunction against a coronavirus vaccine mandate for teachers in New York, meaning the deadline for them to get at least one vaccine dose by Monday may not take effect as planned. The case is scheduled to be taken up by a panel of judges on Wednesday. It was filed by a group of teachers who say the vaccine mandate is a violation of constitutional rights. The New York City Department of Education has said, however, that it expects the rule will be upheld. This was the first broad mandate for public workers in a major American city that did not give the option of virus testing as an alternative. Reports say New York schools could be short 10,000 teachers when the mandate takes place. A 24-hour-long concert is underway, streamed live around the world in support of efforts to end the pandemic, defeat poverty and protect the earth, and opening the show was the K-pop group BTS performing their hit Permission to Dance. The concert is called Global Citizen Live, put together by the New York-based organization Global Citizen. It's on YouTube and featured performance from 6 continents by more than 70 artists, including the American singer H.E.R. and Lizzo. The performance by BTS was streamed in the early hours of Sunday Korea time, shot at a famous landmark in downtown Seoul, the ancient Sangnemun Gate, also known as Namdaemun. At Central Park in New York, there was a crowd of around 60,000 who showed up to see artists including Coldplay, Billie Eilish and Jennifer Lopez, and around 20,000 people joined the concert at the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Before ending, we go to the Euro-Bangla City SATV News headlines again. People who do not believe in Bangladesh's independence are out to tarnish the country's image at home and abroad by conspiracies. RT-PCR labs will go into full-scale operation at Dhaka airport on Tuesday, announced CAAB chairman. All maritime ports have been advised to hoist distant warning signal number 2 as cyclonic storm Gulab over Bay. You're up to date so far here on Euro-Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest news visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.